Hello and welcome to Group Three's NISM marketing campaign. My name is Gage Parkin.
My name's Ellie Beach.
My name is Vincent DiMartina.
And my name's Lily Moad.
And today we're going to be going over kind of everything that we've set up for NISM's campaign. So the purpose for this presentation as a whole is just to create an effective advertisement for NISM and their various marketing certifications. To do so, we will be looking at some specific factors, such as the company, kind of their mission, their products, their positioning, and that'll then lead into a bit of a SWOT analysis, where we will kind of break down where we think that our campaign can kind of benefit NISM. Additionally, we have a situation analysis of kind of how they're currently handling things and how things could be handled. And then we'll be going over the marketing strategy and mix that we have created.
So first, company mission. The goal is to offer social media education through its various online certification. NISM plans to set the standard for social media education, assessment, certification, and consulting. And this is straight from their website. They are the first of their kind to offer education in social media and digital marketing. So NISM offers three main certifications. They offer an individual certification, which is aimed at the individual. They offer employer certification that are used to expand the knowledge of their employees. And lastly, you have educational certifications that are used to pair with a college's curriculum. NISM positions itself based on the type of certification. The individual certification is aimed towards a young, continuing education demographic. The employer certification is aimed towards an older, senior management type level. And lastly, the educational certification aimed towards college professors that they can pair with their curriculum.
So kind of going into that brief SWOT analysis I mentioned before, for starters, we looked at the strengths of NISM, which we believe to be they have a very good understanding of their current or of their target demographic, as well as a wide variety of materials for those who are looking to get certified through NISM. They also are fairly decently priced and extremely user-friendly. However, we definitely felt that it needs more branding and a much stronger presence on social media. And kind of with that, because of their lack of presence on social media, kind of takes away from their credibility a bit, as well as it could definitely benefit from changing platforms. Some opportunities for NISM would be that they could provide new exams to reach into new demographics, specifically college-age students, as we've mentioned. Additionally, we think that they should become the preferred educational tool for said target demographics, which they think, which could definitely tie into a bit of rebranding for NISM, as well as just platform advertising on various social medias. Lastly, the threats would be that there is a fair amount of competition among other certification brands, as well as NISM doesn't really have a precise demographic that they can target. Also, the reputation of NISM is still kind of being built, at least from what we've seen, and is kind of lacking in the university and college department.
So college enrollment has declined 9.6% since 2010. Now, this affects NISM in two facets. The individual certification are more tailored towards people who aren't in college yet. So that will help people that don't have a college degree, and the fact that there will be more people that don't have a college degree. But it'll also hurt the fact that educational providers want to use NISM's products to pair with their curriculum. And so the less students in college works both ways against NISM. But the good news is that the American workforce has grown from 154 million in 2012 to 164 million today. So that's a lot more people than NISM could target with their employer certifications. So competition, first I'll start with the indirect competition. So universities offer online degree granting programs and certifications, but NISM, they are indirect competitors. NISM can't provide a degree. However, Google, Amazon, and HubSpot offer similar certifications to NISM. And so Google, Amazon, and HubSpot are NISM's primary competitors. However, NISM's certification is in social media, and those other competitors do not have certifications in social media, which helps differentiate NISM from its competitors.
Okay, so now with the marketing strategy for our NISM campaign, I want to start with the value proposition. The value proposition focuses on two main aspects, which is emphasis on the consumer and emphasis for NISM to be unique. With the consumer, we want them to see the brand, the experiences, and the value. Therefore, on NISM, we give marketing testimonials and reviews, and ultimately, we want to evaluate how the consumer will recognize NISM as a reputable brand, which will focus on aspects such as credibility, like what Gage said in the SWOT analysis, and recognition from other firms to ensure that employers recognize the credibility of the NISM social media certifications. The emphasis on the uniqueness will be what NISM does. That will be an understanding of what NISM does well and how we can differentiate NISM from the competition. Then the marketing strategy, which is the marketing objectives. These are measurable objectives that will help ensure that we can evaluate if this advertising campaign is successful. So the first objective would be ensuring a 20% increase in advertisement clicks. Then at least 10% of online customers will purchase one of NISM's products, whether it be social media certifications or even a study guide. Then we will be ensuring that NISM is reaching higher revenues, and we'll measure this on a quarterly basis. And lastly, we will ensure that NISM establishes a partnership with at least 4 businesses to ultimately ensure that the businesses expose the employees to those NISM certifications. Another aspect of the marketing strategy is the target market strategy. So this is where we ask ourselves, who is NISM's typical consumer? So we've learned in the past that the typical consumer is upper middle age, and typically women, post-college, continuing education. And we want to, with this ad campaign, we want to factor in other markets, such as that post-college student, the college student, and then that business-to-business relationship to ensure we have credibility. And the NISM advertisement campaign will ensure that we are hitting on a multitude of different target audiences. Okay, branding perception. This is where we ask, how do potential consumers see the NISM services? We want to focus on prioritizing the individual by using taglines, which you'll see in our advertising campaigns and our advertisements, such as putting the individual at the highest priority, such as being the expert, being the best, and then strengthening your team with that business-to-business aspect that we're trying to target as well. The brief. The brief essentially is a highlight of how and why we want our advertisement campaign to obviously be successful. But the biggest aspect to the brief is definitely the bold initiative, which is going to be stated as NISM must create an advertisement campaign that goes beyond the typical demographic, which is the continuing education and post-schooling individual, and choose to target other businesses and college students.
So I'll get into the marketing mix, the promotion aspect of the marketing mix, which is our actual advertisements that we created. So the first is our hero ad, which is relevant to all target markets, but most specifically appeals to the individual certification buyers. The second ad is B2C, and it's the individual certification itself. So consumers would directly be buying that for their own professional development. And then the last 2 advertisements are both B2B. So the first one being the agency certification, and the third one being the educational certification. So the target audience for the hero ad, like I said, is all of the markets that we really want to encompass, but specifically towards the individual, because we included the individual social media strategist certification badge on this advertisement. So the image that we selected relates to a wide range of people, but mostly focus on college-age students and young professionals with the bold colors and the laptop image. And then this will be distributed on LinkedIn, job sites such as Indeed, and platforms such as Instagram and Facebook. So more specifically about the different aspects of the ad, we put the logo in the same spot on all 4 ads. We have a call to action at the bottom, which emphasizes the benefit of buying the certification. We have a tagline. This one's more generalized, certifications for a smarter tomorrow, but it emphasizes the advantage that can come with going through the certification. The certification badge, which catches the viewer's eye, and then the website, which is also in the same spot for all 4 ads. Then the first smaller ad that we have is directed towards individuals. It's B2C, and it's for the social media strategist certification. So like Ellie talked about, this is aimed not only towards middle-aged continuing education individuals, but also towards college students and young professionals looking for a resume boost and something to really put them ahead. So the tagline, want to be the best in your field, catches the audience's attention. Who wouldn't want to be the best in their field? The call to action at the bottom is also aimed at that same goal. And then we have the certification badge and a young student or young professional in a setting that could either be educational or professional. We kind of left it vague so that it would reach a wider audience. The second ad is B2B. This is for corporate use. So this is mainly directed towards managers, directors, team leads, basically anyone in a decision-making position looking to improve their company's social media capabilities and increase their team's skill set, so that inspired our tagline, skills that will strengthen your team. And then we have the agency badge and a company meeting setting so that it can relate to managers and directors. And then the call to action at the bottom, which includes the website. And this one will be distributed on LinkedIn and Google Ads, and it'll be targeted towards platforms that managers and directors use. And then the last ad that we created, also B2B, is directed towards educational institutions. So more specifically, the target audience for this is program directors, professors, career advisors, and basically people who are looking to help students gain experiences and enhance their portfolios. And this will also be distributed on LinkedIn and Google Ads, specifically targeted towards that intended audience. So the tagline appeals to students and educators, skills that go beyond the classroom. We really wanted to kind of encompass all the benefits of the certification. And then we have the educational partner badge, the student in a college setting that will appeal to the target audience, and then the call to action, which is also specific towards the target audience. So then, as a way for us to measure the success of the campaigns, we have a variety of different key performance indicators. The first being number of website clicks, so we can compare this number for each type of ad, and then also compare the engagement from each platform that the ads are placed on. And then we have number of visitors on the website. We can compare this to the pre-campaign numbers and have a breakdown for each different certification page listed on the website. The number of purchases, that will show the actual effectiveness and how convincing the ads were towards individuals, agencies, and educational institutions in buying these certifications. And then the percentage of new visitors and the sign-up rate will measure the effectiveness of the ad campaign and measure the reach for the audience.
So just kind of bringing everything together, as Lily just discussed, we need to be able to evaluate the key performance indicators to decide if this campaign is going to end up being successful, as well as kind of just making sure that it meets some measurable objectives along the way. We think that's incredibly important to see if we are getting appropriate social media usage across all platforms, and making sure that there actually is an increase in consumer impressions has, as long as we were able to see if that, all that's going well, then this overall can be deemed a success, and it will lay down a great foundation for NISM as a whole across all platforms. Thank you, and feel free to reach out for any questions.